Back off, he's only gloves. Have you heard the crowd going mental here just for you?
Be a possibility of going back, but it would be difficult. If you bought the vehicle off a dealer, I mean you would just go straight back to the dealer because he would have a responsibility.
You know, I believe I'm struggling. I believe listeners as well struggling. With the latent defect issue, you just said that is the timing belt would be mechanical failure, and insurance would not get involved and will not pay out. But then, at which point the latent defect is not becoming a mechanical failure issue? Is it because of it's cracked and corroded by nature? Which is what we can classify, so people understand which is latent defect and which is not apparent at the point of buying a car, and that would not be also known to whoever is actually selling the car. I think that is quite an important thing to establish for people to understand, actually.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I mean latent defects, when I'm using the terminology, is basically for litigation purposes, when you can claim money back from other people. Latent defects really don't apply to purchasing cars. They can be, which is why I said earlier, it can be described as a latent type defect. In other words, it will be unknown to the parties at that stage. But it certainly would not be an issue that insurance companies would be involved. The only time insurance companies would be involved in that sort of scenario is if it's an insurer of a guy who sold the vehicle.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm struggling to understand what is then the exact latent defect. You just name examples, few examples.
A latent defect in the areas that I would be involved with. I mean, I'll give you one as an example that kicked in. Another example would be a brake pipe that travels through, say a Range Rover, Land Rover, that actually enters into the meadow. But this is just an example. If a brake pipe enters into a box chassis member of a vehicle, one end, and comes out the other, and it's corroded, the brake pipe corrodes within that box section, and finally fails due to corrosion, causing brake loss. That would be a latent defect because you would not have normally found it by servicing or MOT checks.
So,
So that would insurers. This is a sort of complex grey area. Insurers in that instance would deal with the policy holder's damage if the brakes went in that instance, because provided he maintained it and what have you, he would not know that fault.
So basically, let's just make it simple for people, because it is complicated. So basically, the latent defect, the insurance will pay out somebody, say for instance, if that person, but if it will crash into the wall, right, or into another vehicle, and there would be damage, and there will be investigation. Say for instance, the driver would claim, I just lost brakes, it was nothing to do with me, and there will be an investigation, the cause of accident. So that be obviously one part of where you will be sent out to identify the cause of why the accident happened.
That would be it. In that instance, you would consider that was a latent type defect. Therefore, the insurer would deal with the damage to your vehicle. Yeah.
Okay. I think this is really important. It's always on my mind, and probably, well, I could probably read it in the Google, but I mean, you will be the probably most professional person to answer this question. Which opinion I will take it as granted. Basically, if people don't know, Michael is one of the best inspectors in the UK, right?
No.
He's not bragging, but I'm telling you, he is. And tell me this, Michael. Say, for instance, the customer, the listener who just bought a car, right? And after a couple of months, for some random reason, as the inspection as well would not actually pinpoint this kind of neglect, more likely. Removed airbags, pre-tensioners, the diodes put into the seatbelt tensioners to avoid expensive repairs, which some shady garages actually do it.
I'm just wondering where you gauge your knowledge from all that information. You are 100% correct, but it's usually over the sector of the motor trade know these little tricks.
Yeah, that's a bogus repairs. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think this is the hottest topic.
Can
right?
I just clarify to the listeners there? This is exactly what the motor trade does. If a vehicle's been in an accident and the airbag's gone off, they're very expensive to replace. They won't. Repairers won't, or certain.
Let's heat up the show. Let's heat up the show.
They won't replace the airbags to stop the airbag light coming on, so it gets through an MOT. They replace resistors that gives a false reading to the ECU that says yes, the airbag's in and working when it doesn't even exist. So,
people who don't know what is ECU, it's a electronic control unit. Yeah, basically a computer, as you can call it, in a simple word, who gets the information and sends the information. Yeah, Michael, sorry.
Yeah. So your question was whether they after it's discovered. Then sorry, I interrupted. You never finished the question.
No, I interrupted you. So that was the question. That was the hottest. So what we do about this, if and when it's been discovered, and what do you do? What the buyer or the probably the listeners, most of them probably don't know, and when they would find this out, it's normally probably too late. It's probably you already own the car for a year or two. Unless there is on inspection, we can find where clearly, if it's been accident damage and there's the category S or N, you can have some certain suspicions, by the way, from who you're buying, where the car is, what's the environment, would it be likely the person could potentially be interfering with the systems, because you physically you can't remove things, right? No one will allow you to do that. That would be more likely identified on a post-inspection, where the owner allows to strip certain parts of the vehicle to physically inspect it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, yes, those sort of things wouldn't be established until the vehicle's dismantled. Unfortunately, these situations are very rare, but I think it just goes to prove that even employing guys like you who do a very good job, hopefully, and go out and do these pre-purchase inspections, you just cannot ascertain everything. There are these possibilities that items such as you're talking about, scenarios as you're talking about, do come to light at a later date. And the only recourse then is to go back to the person that you purchased the vehicle off of, not the CarExamer. And if you're lucky and you bought it from the garage, you should be able to get your money back, or the cost of replacing the missing items. But if it's from a private sale, you don't normally stand a lot of hope of getting your money back,
unless you just pursue your case, if it's worth pursuing.
Yeah. But the problem is proving that the vendor knew that those just aren't usually worth the effort, unfortunately.
Yeah, but let's just slightly wrap this thing up a bit. How would you can actually prove it they did it? They can say, anyone can say, no, as you know, people lie, right? They just simply say, no, I haven't done it, right? Unless you got evidence, you know. So that means you are not guilty until you are proven guilty, right? That's your right. So what did you have the situations like what I just mentioned? Because these are safety systems, right? And this is if you buy something like that vehicle and God forbidden, right, somebody has an accident and the safety system doesn't work and somebody gets life-changing injuries, or maybe result of something what we don't want to discuss on a show, then who would be liable, right?
Yeah.
Because that could happen. Somebody buys you don't want to buy the car where it could affect your kid's safety, your wife's safety, your granny's safety, family's safety, anyone, or somebody else's on a public.
The person that would be responsible would be the person that actually did the disconnection. I mean, if you bought it from a dealer and it involved personal injury, I think I'm certainly not a lawyer, but I think the problem would be proving that the dealer was culpable in it. I mean, yes, you get your money back from it, but he certainly would not be responsible for personal injuries.
Yeah, sure.
If he wasn't aware of it.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, the likes of you and I, who wouldn't have access to the information, we would be able to establish whether the vehicle has ever been involved in a previous accident for tracing it back. But an insurer would have those contacts. They would have their databases where they would be able to check if the vehicle had been subject to a previous incident, and when the airbags perhaps weren't replaced. But as I say, it's a very, very rare case. I mean, the only situations where I've come across that sort of thing is
share that.
Sorry?
Share that. Yeah, that would be interesting.
It's years. I've been going back into sort of early 2000s, 2001, 2002, when I used to do a hell of a lot of fraudulent claims investigations when those staged accidents were right. Then I would be inspecting vehicles that had airbags and removed and not replaced. But that was mainly because the guys in that sort of in that market, shall we say, they were getting cars, staging accidents, making the claims for personal injuries, etc. Then they would go back, they would be poorly repaired, and they would, be registered to someone else, and then another stage accident would be replaced, and that was rife back in those times. Luckily, it's been cut.
It still happens, Michael. It still happens.
I know, but not to the extent. I mean, for sort of 10 years, that was basically 90% of the business was looking into fraudulent claims, and it just dropped off considerably.
All right.
Since they bought out the Jackson reforms of referrals and it's dropped off dramatically. I mean, were you aware of the Jackson reforms and why they came out?
No.
Okay, well,
probably at that point of time, I wasn't even in UK, so highly likely I would not know unless I would educate myself to get there. I definitely wasn't involved in those sort of activities in the UK. wasn't even my intention.
I can assure you some of your fellow countrymen were, and I used to get in situations where I think, my God, I can get my throat cut here and never be found, just disappeared. But that's, yeah.
We rather at CarExamer help people avoid these situations than actually encouraging something like that.
Yeah, but the Jackson reforms were brought out because basically what was happening was, I mean, you may not know, you go, even today, I think, you see it, you go to your doctors and there'll be a pamphlet in there, had an accident, we can help. And going back before the Jackson reforms were arranged, if you were bought out, if you were a garage, a broker, or anybody, you introduce someone into that had a third-party accident where they could claim for their cost. So if it was well, I'll just give an example. If it was a Ford Fiesta going into Harborough a period, you'd get a £200 introduction fee. If it was a Porsche going into Harborough period, you get a £1,000 introduction fee. If it was a Porsche and personal injury, introduction fee was £5,000. So obviously this just encouraged it tremendously, and then they looked into the matter, and the Jackson reform said no more introductory fees.
Lucrative business, what can I say?
Which obviously affected our business.
There is a demand. There is a people behind it.
But yeah, it was an interesting period. You know, and I mean, and we sort of come across things where people were damaging vehicles by hammers to make matters worse.
I like that. That's good. You know.
Yeah, no, it's,
Now, if you're talking, okay, if you damage vehicles with hammers, do you deal with this situation? Does it happen now?
No. As I say, we still look into claims. That's mainly because of personal injury to establish whether the damage is sufficient enough to have caused personal injury. And in that area, we're not doctors, we're only engineers. We can only talk about displacement of occupants of vehicles. But yes, it still goes on to a certain extent, but not the fraud side as much. There still goes out there a little bit, but not as much as it did in the past.
All right. And basically, I think we're running out of time, Dave. Right? Do we or still we got few minutes?
Yeah, we're going to use it pretty short, yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Dave, you gone to sleep? Have we been boring you?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm busy at this end.
They passed out. So to sort of wrap it up quickly, so basically the latent defects and the normal mechanical defects is still a bit grey area, right? Mechanical defects would be a noise, something fails, but that means it would not be classified as a latent defect if, say, for instance, engine seizes while you're driving, right? And you had the maintenance record and it's just out of blue happened. That would not be classified, Michael, as a latent defect.
No. I think latent defect is more on the liability side. I think for yours, it's what you've got to determine in what you do.
So I just want people to understand, so we can sort of wrapping up the show, so they understand what is the latent defect and what is the normal defect of the vehicle, where they simply dispute whether it's a maintenance issue or whether simply it's a part failure or whether it's simply because it's just happened, and then the liabilities would be between the buyer, the seller, and if there is extended warranty, might be, if it's not been flagged up to that warranty company regarding that particular fault, what happened, then they might pay out if that particular fault will classify today standards, right, to cover this cost for the repairs, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a latent. My take on it, a latent defect is something that would can cause result damage, which would not be known of through normal servicing or normal checking.
Okay.
Where the scenario of the timing belt goes and things like that, that to me is an unknown defect or undeterminable defect when you carry out your examination of the vehicle.
So basically, to wrapping it up, in my understanding, the latent defects and the mechanical defects, which results in car to break down, and the latent defect would more cause a car to crash or some system deploy without you knowing it actually happening, right? And there would be third-party damages as a result of that particular defect, which no one really kind of known. Yeah. All right, so that was today's topic, the latent defects, which is probably it just happens 1 or 2% of the rest of the mechanical faults. Can I say that, Michael? Yeah, so they are really rare. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Drive Time. You can watch some recordings on at Clav Simco's YouTube channel. So I just put them up if you're interested. See me in a car and at Drive Time, as this is a Drive Time show. So all over to Dave.
Right, boys. Well, Merry Christmas when it comes tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
And
all the best.
It's a snowflake time. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas, Dave, to you. Merry Christmas to Michael. Hope you have a nice present. If you deserve it. If you've been a good boys this year.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine, okay.
Let me call you back on.
Okay, I think David's gone, isn't he?
And join Clavs back on Thursday as well.